Hey onda, thanks for watching Doing Life with Jenny. If you're new here, I just moved from the US to Mexico to the state of Hidalgo. I apologize, I've been sick, my throat is very... Ruthie, shh, 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 shh. Hey. So my throat is very scratchy still. Speaking of being sick, we're going to talk about my health back in the US versus Mexico, and I don't mean like getting a cold or something of that nature, rather like long-term conditions that I had in the United States, if they've gotten better or worse, or if they've stayed the same here in Mexico. Okay, let's start off with my dietary restrictions. I am fructose and fructan intolerant. I won't go into details because you need like a biochemistry degree to understand it. But basically, if I eat foods containing those foods, I have a lot of stomach trouble. I would say overall there really haven't been any changes from going to the US to Mexico, especially with fructose. That's what I'm most sensitive to. I can tell almost immediately if I've eaten that on accident. Because one time someone offered me a Gatorade, it was the red one. I read the label because I have to, being me. And it was good to go, so I drank it with no issue. And then another time there was a blue Gatorade, and I didn't think to check since the red one was fine, but the blue one had fructose, and I didn't realize that, and like a couple hours later, I'm like, why is my stomach a little upset? So I was thinking about what I ate throughout that day, and I came to the Gatorade, I went and looked at the blue one, I'm like, oh, the blue one has fructose. I feel like that's something that has changed in Mexico, maybe in the past 5 years or so, is that they're starting to use more high fructose corn syrup. When I said fructose earlier, I meant high fructose corn syrup, but it's like concentrated fructose, even worse. But like 5+ years ago, Mexico was still using a lot of cane sugar, and my stomach tolerates that a lot better. As far as fructans go, fructan is found in wheat, garlic, onion, beans, lots of beans, garlic, and onion here. I would say that beans, garlic, and onion are not bothering me too badly here. I will get tacos with beans on them, and as long as I don't go crazy and have like 10 tacos, but why would I have 10 tacos no matter what's inside of them, I'm fine. And if I put a little bit of salsa on there that has garlic and onion, fine. I would say maybe I'm more sensitive to wheat than garlic, onion, and beans. As long as the garlic and onion are kind of trivial amounts. Like, I'm not going to get a hamburger with a whole slice of onion on it. But there was one day I bought some vegan ground beef at Mr. Tofu in Pachuca. And I used it throughout the week for like tacos and nachos. And I was feeling miserable. I didn't know what was wrong with my stomach. I'm like thinking about what I was eating. I'm like, maybe I didn't read this package carefully for the vegan ground beef. But I had misread the package, and it contained wheat, and so I didn't finish the rest of it. Miss Ruthie, the beagle, got some of that, and after 2 or 3 days of not eating it anymore, then my stomach felt a lot better. Next, let's talk about the fibromyalgia. This is something I've dealt with for years, but I didn't know what it was until maybe 2 years ago. But basically, while I'm asleep, maybe every 4 to 5 months or so, I wake up in pain to the point where I'm almost paralyzed. So let's imagine you haven't gone to the gym for a long time, and then you go, that like muscle soreness and tightness, it's that, but times 300,000. Like my shoulders, all the way to my hands just get so stiff and so sore to the point like sometimes in the morning I cannot bend my fingers. Like, it's very difficult for me to lift my arms up to like wash my hair or brush my hair. And because of the pain, I keep waking up maybe every hour or two throughout the night. And that will happen for like 2 to 4 weeks. And then it goes away for several months before it comes back. So I've been here for 5 months now. It's happened twice. The first time was very, very, very mild compared to what I usually feel. The pain was very mild. Like, I was a little stiff, but it just kind of like went like this, and a couple hours later I felt fine. and it only lasted a couple nights. And then this past week, it happened again, but like the normal intensity, like the pain that's waking me up, where I feel like I can't really move my arms and shoulders. And it did last, probably lasted a week. Where again in the US it was lasting like 2 to 4 weeks. So I think maybe the weather can trigger it and stress can trigger it, and both of those have been factors for me at the moment. Okay, I guess the other thing I've struggled with is sleep. In the US, I found it very hard to sleep if there was any kind of stress or anxiety going on. And as silly as it might seem, having to set the alarm clock kind of triggers anxiety in me. I think it's because I'm worried that maybe I didn't set it, or my phone's gonna die, or my phone's going to explode in the middle of the night, and I will miss my flight or miss work or whatever. It was usually especially bad on Sunday nights. I think there's now a term for that, the Sunday night scaries. And then I would get some anxiety going into work to teach, especially on Mondays. Come Fridays, like, I was perfectly fine. Even sometimes I would get anxious at church. On Sundays, I don't know if it was like the anticipation of Monday coming around or what. I was on medication for depression and anxiety for maybe, I don't know, 3 years or so. And when I was in the States, I was mostly for financial reasons taking it like maybe once every 2 weeks. And I originally started taking it daily. So once I moved to Mexico, I weaned off of it completely. One, out of curiosity to see if I still needed it, and two, also for financial reasons. Like, medication is affordable here, but the less medications I need, the better. But basically, all summer, I arrived June 11th until the time I started working at this elementary school. I was feeling great. I felt like I had a little bit of energy. I was sleeping really, really well, like too well, to the point where it would be like 5 or 5:30 in the morning, and I was like wide awake, ready to start my day. I'm like, really, 5:30? It's too early to be starting the day. But as soon as I started working again, specifically the elementary school, like the online classes or private students, they don't give me anxiety at all. The new job I started this week, well, for you it will be last week, online teaching English. It's more like tutoring English for kids in the US. That gave me a little bit of anxiety, but it was because it was new. Like, that's normal the first day, the first week, right? But I really liked it. But ever since I took the elementary job, I have had a lot of trouble sleeping, and the anxiety has come back. Especially Mondays, because I have to go to the elementary school all day Monday. Wednesday is only a half day, so I almost enjoy it Wednesday, almost. It's not 100% because of the elementary school. Some of it is just my brain doesn't shut off at night. Okay, what I'm about to say, I'm making fake names up. But sometimes at night, my brain just doesn't shut off because it has too many ideas at night. It's like, oh, well, that would be a fun lesson for Monica. Or, oh yeah, I need to remember to write this down in Jose's lesson for tomorrow. Like, why my brain doesn't work during the day, I don't know. It wants to work at night. But also at night, like 8 o'clock, I'm ready to go to bed. So it's not that I'm a night person. It's just my brain kind of worries, like, oh, what if I forgot this? What other medical issues do I have? Oh, the prolactinoma, which is a tumor in the pituitary gland. I had that for a long time before they figured out what was wrong. So last I checked in the US, according to the MRI, the tumor is completely gone. I just have to take a medicine once a week to make sure that a hormone called prolactin stays at the right level. Mine was way too high because of the tumor. So I literally just go to the pharmacy, ask for that medication. They give it to me. No prescription. I haven't seen the endocrinologist here yet. Nor do I really plan to anytime soon. Just come like end of January, beginning of February, I will go get my prolactin level checked. because that's all my endocrinologist did anyway. I would pay her like $60 for her to say, okay, go down to the lab. See you next year. Pretty sure I can just show up to the lab here and say, check my prolactin. I don't think I have to go to the endocrinologist. Yeah, I don't feel any symptoms from that. The only thing I can do is if I forgot to take my medicine. I kind of get a foggy like headache. I'm like, oh yeah. And I also get that the day after I take it. But all is going well there because it's so easy to get your medication here. And the last thing, in the States, maybe in the past, I don't know. Everything feels like last year, but I'm sure it's been like 5-10 years, because that's just how time feels to me. Like, I guess that's how time feels whenever you get old. But I started having trouble with my knees and my feet. I'm guessing from having to stand on my feet all day, every day. I've been standing working on my feet since I was 16. But I did get x-rays on my knees, and it's basically bone on bone. And like in my last 1.5 years teaching, I was spending a lot of time sitting at my desk because my feet just wouldn't tolerate standing up all day anymore. I even skipped my cafeteria duty because I just could not go up there and stand anymore. So I currently have an issue with my foot, but my right foot really hurts. Doesn't help that I do a lot of walking here. I have been walking Ruthie a lot. If I need to go to the bus station, I'll walk there. It's like 20-30 minutes. If I need to go to the actual supermarket instead of the regular market, I walk there, also about 20 minutes. I walk to one of my English lessons with my book bag with my heavy laptop in there because my laptop is ancient. So it is a lot on my feet, and on top of that, I love my flip-flops, and I love like flat shoes like Vans. Mine are not Vans. I don't know if you know Bobos, but they're a similar style to Vans, like that flat. So I've gone to the podiatrist twice now for therapy, and they're going to make me an insole. They want me to keep coming to therapy, but they want me to come like every other day or every 3 days. I don't have that kind of money. Like, it's cheap, but that's not in the budget at the moment. So I'm just trying to stay off of my foot, and I am getting the insole though. They said I have to wear that from 8 months to 2 years. They also told me to buy different shoes, but I don't have money for that. I mean, like, I of course have the money if that's my priority, but it's not my priority. My priority is to like finish my house and get rolling over there. And once I get in my house, that will help because I won't have to walk to my student's house. I won't have to walk to the bus to get to the other student's house. But yeah, overall I would say the health was going great until I started teaching at a physical school again. But I do love like being out and walking a lot when my foot's feeling fine. I think just being out in the sun makes a big difference. Until this week, I really haven't had any kind of like sinus infection or cold. Pretty sure this is a sinus infection. Usually in the States, I get those several times a year, maybe 3 to 5 times a year. This is the first time I've had it here in Mexico. Feels the exact same way it did when it happened in the States. It's like in the morning, you wake up with a sore throat and your ears hurt. You take a warm shower and like it kind of drains down your throat. Sorry, that's gross, sorry. And then kind of the rest of the day, you feel better. And then at night, it kind of starts again. That's kind of how I feel. But yeah, that's how I am doing. The next video is going to be a cost of living video. I've been at my apartment for over 3 months now, so I've kept track of August, September, and October for you in detail. I know that's probably what a lot of people are most interested in seeing, and it is not anything like other YouTubers' cost of living. So be watching for that next week. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Thank you for your patience with my throat. And if you made it to the live stream on Saturday, I really appreciate that. A special thanks to Bonnie and Cheryl for the extra support. I really appreciate it. You guys enjoy your week, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.